Okay, so Blackwings just got some support and it's insane because I have not touched Blackwings in years. Like not at this level. This past week I've been grinding trying to learn this deck as best I could, and I got some insight from for some of the guys on this the Wolfgrounds Discord. If you're not in Discord yet, go ahead and links in the description and join. And then Josh, of course. Josh is a buddy from locals. He loves Blackwings. He has like the entire deck maxed out. Like he's a fan. He's in Blackwing enthusiast. So I right away I asked him to give me some insight on how to like where to get started because I had no clue. And why would you like I guess not utilize that info, right, information, and it'll speed up the process to you learning the deck faster, and that's that was the whole point, which is thank you, Josh. So at first, like looking back at it now, I was like, what was I doing? Like I was doing some weird things, and then he told me, no, you do this, you do that, and then like add back this, and then I was like, okay, that makes sense now. So I built off of that, and then for the days after, I was just grinding, because if you see, I've seen a lot of lists. They differ, right? You're used to seeing Gales, Boras. You're usually seeing this little guy right here. But what I noticed is that they only facilitate like rusty lines or IP setups in the unfortunate scenario that you brick. And I was like, I don't want to do that. Like a unicorn spin is not gonna stop anybody. Or an Appaloosa, Runics everywhere. They're just gonna negate your Appaloosa. Like, why would you invest all your resources to an Apple? Or even a Rusty. What's the Fog Blade gonna stop? A Fog Blade's not gonna stop it's not. And then if you put it even further and add more bricks, it's like, what are you doing? Like, what are you? I just didn't think it made any sense. It just didn't make any sense to me. Cause like if you look at the top row, okay, this is all self-sufficient, right? This is self-sufficient. If you draw any of these top row, then you're fine. You get things going, right? But you look at the bottom row. This row does nothing. If you draw any combination of these cards together, they do nothing. And if they were to do something, it would more likely lean towards the rusty lock, the rusty line where you send boots at Fog Blade. But even then, it's like, okay, you're just adding more inconsistency to the deck that you don't really need to be doing. It's if it's the best thing you got as a deviation, then I guess feel free to do so. But I just didn't feel like it was not good. Like I rarely bricked, maybe like once, and it wasn't even a brick. It was like a suboptimal setup that still got me there, right? Based on my opponent's variance of how consistent his deck was. So there's gonna be those instances where you battle inconsistent hands versus inconsistent hands, and it's gonna be okay. It's manageable, and it should be sufficient enough. And you saw that, because like okay, so top row, fine together. Bottom row you draw this and this does nothing. This and this does nothing. Does nothing. Okay, but how do you mitigate that? How do you try to avoid that? You play these six. These six is filter. So if you draw excess amount of these guys, you lure it away. Get closer to these guys. Get closer to this. Banish from the wing beast. Get closer to this. That's the whole point. That's how you mitigate that issue, right? Because that's why I noticed. Okay, it's the best thing we got right now. Because the other flaw is when you can't establish board presence, and that was huge for me. I was like, oh, I can't. There was a time where I was going against Mirror Jades or going against the new Bistio cards where they're just like pop your guy, and then there's a fizzle. You can't search. And I was like, oh my god, what the heck do I do? Then you're stuck with these guys in hand. And I was like, oh my god, what the heck? So you want to get to these two. You want to get to these two because at least gives you a chance to have two bodies on board by the end. And then small world, the two targets. I was initially playing one, but Desire just kept banishing it, so I need two. Kaiju's pretty good, like just you know what I mean. It's just basically for small world. It's the best case scenario of this is you Kaiju like something that's bothering you. That's the best case scenario. And then this was good, Destrudo, because it's something that can put itself back if you do draw it, which is nice. So it keeps the small world live. Thank you, Josh. That was good insight. A lot of people are not playing Desires. Desires is so good. It's the same thing. You max out everything. Everything's at 3, so you don't care. Like there was a time where I did banish all my Zephyros, and that was a nightmare because I was like, I needed that Zephyros because I couldn't bounce. Because the more you play the deck, you notice that there's some niche things you can do by bouncing like this, and turning it back on to be able to add it back at the right time, because sometimes you don't want to trigger this yet because you don't have this guy. I'm pretty sure you saw the line. You saw the lines in the replays. If you didn't watch replays, go and check them out. You'll see what I'm talking about. Yeah, I maxed it out because, once again, desires. And if you hard open this, means you have more board presence potential, which is huge for the deck. Which is what I meant. Which is what I was referring to up here. When you lack board presence, it's you can't really fulfill what you're intending to do, and that's quite annoying because Blackwings, they swarm. They want to be like feather, like, feather, just summon. There is the argument that you could only play 2, because there was a weird time where I had 3 on board. I wanted to set like this on Squall, but I couldn't because I had a Whirlwind up and I had 3 of these up, and I was like, okay, so I have to choose what do I set, So it's kind of, in that regard, it was weird. So, but it doesn't matter, I guess. It's. I mean, come on, you special summon 4 times back. That's insane. So like, so I guess you take the good with the bad, but it's not even that bad because like you could just use it from hand. So you could just activate this from hand. So it's like, it varies, but it puts you in some weird scenarios that you just sometimes don't want to be in. But other than that, I think 3's fine. 3's fine. Like, of course, if you try to justify, oh well, what if you draw 3 of these and the bottom row? Well, yeah, if you look at it that way, of course, but that's not the point. The point is, as a whole, the way the deck is constructed as a whole, right? That's how you view it and see the possibilities and the potential of what it's meant to accomplish and the objective of the deck, right? That's the whole point. Otherwise, you're gonna be here. Oh no! What if you draw 3 of these? Oh, and you draw 3 of these? Like, oh, come on, man! Like, what are you talking about? But yeah, that's basically the logic behind that. And in triple tactics, it's just basically more draw power, because you want to draw. The more Blackwings you have in your hand, the better, because you want to get these paired together. You want to get these together, because that'll increase the chances of winning and to establish the board presence to then try to do what you're intended to do, and that's the whole point. And this was the 40th card. I was not sure. I was bouncing back whether it be the Bestial card or be main deck this, and then but then you draw Shifter Ash. You just it's good against tier, going second. Like you can just I don't know. It just seemed right. It just seems fine. You don't want to get ashed on your draw cards. You don't want to get ashed on this, because sometimes it can be the end of your turn, which is quite annoying. But nonetheless, this is crazy. Like triple snow, I've only seen people play 1, and I don't know why. 3 is insane. Like you don't care if you lure it away. It's in the banish zone, so you can revive it off of a whirlwind. So you're not constantly thinking about, oh, what do I want to search? What do you want to search? And I guess that's one of the arguments you could say, that you don't have that much variety, but that's how the deck becomes inconsistent. You know what I mean? And then it reverts back to just doing the Rusty. But then what's Rusty gonna stop? Like what's the Fog Blade gonna stop? Okay, like and then pairing these cards, even if you're playing 2, pairing these cards with the PK Garnets. That's not gonna do anything. You're just gonna brick. So you just want to make it as consistent as possible. And I felt this accomplished that. Going second is a bit weird, because you think that you can't go second, but no. The fact that you main deck triple snow is going second. These 2 are so well together. Tactics and Snow Blast. You force the chain. It turns this on. It either gives you access to both, or you take, or you draw 2, draw into pot, draw 2 more. And just keep going. That's the whole point. Like, it's just so good. Like, and then when you go in second, these are easily sided out. These 5. Depending on what you're playing against, you take this out as well. And then you have your board breakers, very generic back row. Going second cards, going first cards. When you go first, you put these in, and you just, oh my god, this card's insane. You saw the replay. You saw in the replay. This card was insane. Just, oh my god, you can easily meet the threshold. And the extra deck. Okay, so you always go into this. You always make 2. Always make this. You always make this. Okay, so I've seen some people play 1, but 2 comes up so often, Because sometimes what happens is you have this, but you synchroned it away to make your hot red, right? And then you can't use this, and then you get lightning stormed or you get evenly matched because you don't have any counters to remove. So the first one stays on board. The first one stays on board, and then it keeps it alive, you know. And then you make another one. It's just so good, so good. This guy I've rarely made this guy. So, but it's just in there just for utility. And same thing with this guy. And I've only made him once that one game against Flunder, where I put him in defense and popped all of his stuff, which is pretty cool. This guy's MVP for sure. This guy's insane. This is what it sticks all your combos together. This card's insane. And then of course you have your Wicked Wind. Wicked Wind's insane. It sets up your Shama because for Twin Shadow play. Because what happens is you'll synchro into this, sending this, because most likely you would have banished the first one, right, to add back your Sudri. And so you send this, you use this and this again. So then on their turn, you can add back your Sudri, you can add back a Snow Blast, you can add back maybe a Roshi, maybe, I don't know. And then it just generates more resources because like when you pass with Twin and this, and you have your board the currency is insane. It's just crazy. Which is why I was tempted on playing these guys, North and Ulster, because if you don't die and you have this and this, the follow up is insane. It's just crazy. But yeah, once again, they don't contribute to the deck, to the combo line at all. This is all you need to fulfill your end board. Which is the best board you can do is these three, this. And yeah, and then on there, and then you have this in hand, and you have this in hand, and then that's great. And this on field, like that's just insane. And you don't need Gil for that. You don't need Hamat for that. You don't need any other Blackwing, you know. And I guess that's the only argument that you can say. Oh, but you're very limited to what you can search, right? Like sometimes you just search like excess amount of Snow Blast, Chinook. And then you're like, oh, I wish I had a Gale right now. But then you have to consider that, okay, if I played Gale, you know, what's that actually going to do for you? I mean, of course, it can get you to this, which is the only link I play, because you just need it. It's just for consistency purposes, just so you can like find a way to sequence out this guy and this guy and set it up and get your double summon. You saw in the replays, I was using that combo quite a bit. You have to improvise. And that's the only reason it's there, and that's the only. It's just so fun. It felt fine. I don't feel like I needed any other links. There are some instances where it can be kind of underwhelming, right? But I feel like I've tested it for this week, and as of right now, I think this is really a really solid build. I think it's really solid. Like it's just insane. Like just completely disregard those situations where you open up this row, like yeah, but that's the point. That's why you have this and this, you know. This is like to open up your hand a bit more, and opening up this and this with this is crazy because like just these two alone is crazy. Some activate this, some of these search this, activate effect because you can send it from field, which is crazy. You know, it's crazy. I don't know, but yeah, that's basically the deck. Go ahead and try it out. Let me know how it goes for you. And I'll keep testing it to see how it goes. But nonetheless, just try it. Just see what I mean. You understand what I mean. How you don't need all these other Blackwings. You know, you just don't. And it's just crazy. But yes, hopefully enjoy the video. Let's subscribe if you haven't. And thanks for watching.